Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we have question number 151. Let's do a slideshow. And also please don't forget to subscribe. That's free for you, but it's a huge help to my channel. So as you might remember from my previous videos, I have done some research on DevOps interviews and job descriptions and came up with this top 15 list of topics. The top ones are more important than the ones at the bottom, but although the ones at the bottom are also important because they do come up a lot. These are based on keyword occurrences, frequencies in job descriptions that I found on LinkedIn. So today we're going to talk about performance monitoring and availability, and in particular about Prometheus. So that's the topic today. And this is number 3, by the way, which is really surprising to. It was very surprising to me because I would have thought things like Linux or Kubernetes or Terraform would be higher. They should be ones at the number 3 and 4, but they're just not. So that's based on my data set. So, but through my intuition and experience, though, I think Terraform Kubernetes are more important than they show up on the list here. So, to the question, when do you need a Prometheus push gateway? So hopefully you already know what Prometheus is. I'll cover that in just a second. So before I get to that, just a quick reminder, floydspencer.com, that's my career advisor. I'm not financially affiliated with him, but he's very passionate about helping people, and he's giving away a 1-hour session to anybody who's in the job market today. Okay, so first of all, what is Prometheus? So there are many ways to collect metrics from all your servers, all your applications, all your pipelines, and make them visible on some kind of dashboard. That's the ultimate outcome, right? Nowadays, Prometheus has become the default tool, open source, free, for collecting metrics from all your servers and applications. That's what Prometheus is. But by default, though, it doesn't. It pulls the metrics. So, for example, your servers will collect all the metrics and put it on an endpoint on the server itself, and Prometheus will come and grab it. So in performance world, this is called pulling. It's coming and pulling the data from you. You're not uploading or pushing the data to Prometheus. So push gateway is a different beast, right? Even though it's a Prometheus push gateway, it does the opposite. For whatever reason, it pushes the data to Prometheus. Now the question for the interview here is, when do you need such a thing? Because by default, it should just be the data should just be pulled. So here are some of the scenarios. Hopefully you can read this on the screen. First of all, batch jobs. Sometimes you have a need to push the metrics out from a job that only lives for a second, right, or lives for a minute. Those metrics will not be gathered by Prometheus because Prometheus would be coming and getting those metrics at a different interval. So those metrics could be gone. So that's one example. Second one is non-scrapable sources. So some sources of data, maybe like an application, maybe for whatever reason it can't actually put the data on an endpoint, right? So somebody has to come and get it, and in this case, push gateway would be the solution. Number 3, asynchronous metric collection. So sometimes you may have the metrics. It kind of goes with the number 1, right? You may have the metrics that are you can't just put them on your endpoint. It comes up and goes, and maybe there's a delay between the making of the metrics and the collection of the metrics. So if it's asynchronous, where it's not synced up between Prometheus and your source of data, then a push gateway would take the data when it's available and push it to Prometheus. Number 4, so for some protocols, it may not be possible for Prometheus to grab data from your source. In those cases, a push gateway could be used to send the data in the format after converting the data into the format that Prometheus accepts to Prometheus, in which case Prometheus couldn't possibly come and get the data from you. You have to push the data using a Prometheus push gateway. So that's where Prometheus push gateway comes into play. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please subscribe. And also, if you have a particular request or a question, you can find me on LinkedIn, or you can just leave a comment here. All right, I will see you in the next one.